Hey, what's up YouTube? King James here. If you've been hanging around my channel for a little while, you know I've done reviews on shotguns, on SMGs, on ARs, on snipers, and a little bit on LMGs, but LMGs really haven't got a lot of love on my channel in the last little while, not for any good reason other than I just really haven't been playing with them. But then I had a suggestion to try out the Stoner again, which I did, and the PKM because I noticed some people were using it, and I wanted to see, you know, are they both viable and are they still good? I've liked LMGs before, but I just haven't played a lot with them. So I tried both of them out again, and I got some interesting results for you right now. So the interesting thing about the Stoner and the PKM is they're not really that dissimilar. The two guns have pretty close to the same fire rate, 719 and 750. The Stoner does more damage, 51 in the head versus 46, and 37 and 34 versus 34 and 31. So it does more damage up close. But as soon as I put them out to their 40-meter range, the damage actually becomes identical between both, 42 and 30 and 28. So what does that do to the TTK? So when looking at the TTK chart, you can see predictably that the Stoner is better close, but not as good at distance. And that's because of that higher damage up close, and then at distance, they both have the same damage, but the PKM has a higher rate of fire, so it's going to have a slightly faster time to kill. But they're both pretty close, let's be honest. 627 versus 568, and then they get out to 735 versus 707. So you're talking 30 milliseconds, which is, you know, a pretty short length of time. So overall, the damage profile in these two guns is pretty well the same. But how do they play? Is there a difference between them when you play with them? So the PKM is really strong. I used it close and far and found I had no problem getting downs with it. It'll knock guys down, and the thing I like about LMGs is the ton of ammo. They're really oppressive. When you get on a guy and you start shooting, you can just unload, and you don't really have to worry so much about running out of bullets. So if you miss a shot or get down like this, you can get back up and still have lots of ammo, even if you didn't reload your gun to be able to get downs. And the PKM particularly, watch the shot right here. Okay, I like aimed right at that guy and downed him super fast. It's crazy strong. So we were getting right down to the end of this game, and it was a 2v4. So, you know, don't get mad at me for hiding in the bush. We really were, you know, double outmanned, and I got that first guy, the second guy jumped down, and then the third guy was right here also kind of creeping up in the bushes, and I managed to get him down as well. So, right, like the damage this thing puts out up close is really good, and we managed to take the win with it. Let's look at the Stoner. So the Stoner is also really strong. I think I like the axial arms better than the VLK. It just has a better look, and now that they've fixed the scope on it, it really works a lot nicer. And the one thing about the Stoner is up close, like you just saw there, it's really strong, and those shots like that when guys pop up, you can still manage to get the downs just like the PKM. And I had pretty good success with it. Again, you know, I was shooting at a guy and got down here, but selfed, and you know, we took over the roof, and look how far this is. No problem getting the down there. I missed the end of the thirst, but man, the amount of damage that these guns can put out and how much ammo you have, you can just keep shooting, is really what makes LMGs awesome. Now, they do have a slow reload, that's absolutely for sure, but they're also really strong, and if you fix your playstyle in that you know, you don't reload if you don't have to, and when you do reload, make sure that you're in the cover of safety, it really doesn't make all that much difference. So I found myself, I would play and then not necessarily reload unless I knew that I was safe in order to do so. So with both the PKM and the Stoner, I'm running it with the PPSH. It's really the best SMG in Warzone right now. It's only beat very close by the Modern Warfare MP5. After that, it's pretty well the best gun all the way across the board. If you haven't tried it out, you need to. I've got a video, I'll link it right here for you. Go off and check that out. But first, let me show you my PKM, and then I'll show you my Stoner loadout. But just before I do that, I want to say thank you to everybody who's recently subbed to the channel and is here watching my videos. I really appreciate all that love and support. So thank you so much, guys. And if you haven't subbed to the channel, consider subscribing because it really does help small content creators like myself. All right, let me show you my builds. So on the PKM, for the muzzle, I'm using the monolithic suppressor. Sound suppression damage range keeps you off the mini-map, so that's really good. Now for the barrel, I'm using the extended barrel, not the heavy. Even though the heavy gives you a tiny bit more range, I like the fact that this one has recoil control, and that's what makes the PKM such a laser beam when you're using it, is the fact that it has a ton of recoil, and that's because of using this barrel as well. Now for a laser, I'm using the TAC laser. Aim down sight speed, aiming stability, and aim walking steadiness. This also is what contributes to having a bit better of an ADS speed, and when you are aiming it, it being really steady. And for the optic, I'm using the VLK 3.0. You can choose any optic you like, but if you're using it for sort of mid to long range, the VLK is a great option. And I'm not using any ammunition. It's got 75 rounds, which is a lot. But for an underbarrel, I'm using the Snatch grip because it also has recoil control, but even more ADS speed buff. Now, if you want to run ammunition, the 150 or 200 round belt, it gives you a ton of ammo, but it sort of also impacts your ADS speed and your movement speed. But if you want to run this, you can use that instead of the TAC laser or the grip. All right, let me show you my Stoner setup. So on the Stoner, for the muzzle, I'm using the agency suppressor because it's got sound suppression, vertical recoil control, bullet velocity, and effective damage range. Now, it does have a negative to ADS speed and aiming stability, but we picked that up with a couple other attachments. And for the barrel, I'm running the Task Force. It's the only barrel now that has bullet velocity on it. And I like bullet velocity for my barrel, especially on my long, medium range gun, because I don't want to lead my shots a whole lot. So the higher the bullet velocity, typically the better the gun's going to feel. Now for the optic, I'm running the Axial Arms 3X because it's really good now. I found that after the fix, it's very stable and easy to use. It's sort of like the VLK. I'm glad they finally addressed that. Now for the underbarrel, field agent grip, just for that horizontal and vertical recoil control. Again, like the PKM, I'm not using ammunition here. And for a rear grip, I'm using the Serpent grip, or you can use the airborne elastic wrap, whatever seems to be your favorite. I like the airborne on my longer range guns because it also has flinch resistance and aiming stability. And when you're sort of ADSing for long periods of time and shooting guys far away, if you get shot at, it's nice to have these. Now, if you really want to run an ammunition and get, the 120 or 150, the same as what you get on the PKM, you can do that and replace the airborne elastic wrap or the field agent grip, whichever one you think, gives you the most benefit. Keep it and get rid of the other one. And that's how I'm running my Stoner. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. This video wasn't really a PKM versus Stoner video. They're both pretty good, and I liked using them both. The one thing about the PKM is that it does have a 100 round mag versus a 75 round mag on the Stoner. I like the optic on the Stoner better, and I felt like the PKM was a bit more of a laser beam at longer distances and has a better time to kill at distance as well. So it does have a couple of buffs, but to be honest, both of them are pretty well exactly the same, and I could bounce back and forth between the two of them, no problem. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, if you don't see me in Warzone, if you don't see me in multiplayer, it's only a matter of time, baby. King James out.